Mike Cardano with Roto Experts in the Fantasy Sports Network, back from my 1-week hiatus and here with you to provide our Week 11 market share report. Now, this is the segment where we review the previous week's on-field action, highlighting the wide receivers that earned the most targets, the running backs that received the most carries. We take a look at which players saw the most chances to score inside the red zone. Now, you're going to want to pay special attention when you hear me say the words market share. This isn't a business 101 course. It's a metric that we use to identify which players are getting the highest percentage of their team's play calling. And since we know that opportunity breeds success, well, it's something that you're going to want to be very conscious of in your decision making as you compose your tournament rosters. Now, I've gotten a handful of questions from viewers the past few weeks from folks who are new to the daily fantasy space about why we are always so focused on targets when we do these features. Well, that's because a target is a pass thrown in the direction of a receiver. And since receivers are dependent on their quarterbacks to score points, well, targets are essential to fantasy success. Now, last week, we continued to see the correlation of targets to fantasy success, particularly with DraftKings full PPR scoring. 8 out of 18 players with 10 or more targets this past week went on to record more than 20 points, and just 3 out of 20 players failed to record double digits. Now, the players with the most targets were the most successful, as the top 5 wide receivers on the target leaderboard averaged 25.62 points with a low of 21.5. Calvin Johnson looked healthy this past week. He led all receivers in targets with 15. Jimmy Graham is the only tight end to appear on the target leaderboard, and actually he led all players on the leaderboard with 29.6 points. Le'Veon Bell is the only running back to appear on the target leaderboard. He converted 10 targets into 8 catches and continues to be a high floor, high ceiling play due to the volume that he receives in the passing game. Now, the biggest disappointments of the week were AJ Green, Sammy Watkins, and Ruben Randall, who all failed to crack double-digit DraftKings points. In total, 18 players saw at least 10 targets this past week, with an average score of 17.59 DraftKings points. Once again, if you were able to correctly identify players receiving double-digit targets, you had an excellent chance of recouping value on their price tag. Just as he did last week, Mark Ingram tops our carry leaderboard. He turned 27 carries into 19.9 points, and he also had a 100% market share of the team's red zone carries. That means that no other players on the Saints had an opportunity in the red zone to run the ball. Now, you can expect Ingram to remain a workhorse back as long as Pierre Thomas and Kyrie Robinson remain hurt. Terrence West came in just behind Ingram with 26 carries. However, he had the second lowest market share of carries of the leaders and will be a risky play moving forward given the presence of Ben Tate and Isaiah Crowell. The 49ers gave Frank Gore his second most carries of the year and the highest market share of red zone opportunities last week, making him a strong option in Week 11 facing a Giants run defense that has been gashed in recent weeks. The biggest disappointments of the week were Matt Forte and Bishop Sankey, who scored just 11.1 and 10.7 DraftKings points respectively. However, all members of the carry leaderboard scored double-digit points, with everyone besides Forte and Sankey scoring at least 15. In total, just 12 running backs saw at least 15 carries in Week 10. This continues the trend of timeshare running backs in the NFL and places a bigger premium on predicting the opportunities. Let's go ahead and take a look at the RedZone Opportunities leaderboard. Now remember, a RedZone opportunity is simply defined as a carry or a target on a play that starts inside the opponent's 20-yard line. Historically, these opportunities are more valuable the closer you get to the goal line, as touchdown rates increase with each yard closer to the opponent's end zone. Marshawn Lynch had a whopping 11 red zone opportunities in Week 10 and was able to convert those into 4 touchdowns and 44.3 DraftKings points. Now, Lynch is a top tournament play week in and week out due to his consistently high red zone opportunities. Le'Veon Bell was a disappointment as he failed to convert on any of his red zone opportunities into touchdowns. Still, it's encouraging to see him get work in the passing game in red zone, which should lead to better results in more favorable matchups. Bishop Sankey is one of the 4 backs to appear in both the carry and red zone opportunity leaderboards. He's a risk each week, though, due to volatile coaching and playing on a bad offense, but is gradually moving his way towards RB2 touches. Now, the only players with at least 4 RedZone opportunities not to record double-digit DraftKings points were Andrew Quarles and John Kuhn, 2 players who really don't receive any work outside of the RedZone. The 6 running backs outside of Kuhn who received at least 4 RedZone opportunities averaged 20.23 DraftKings points. And if you were able to predict the RedZone opportunities at the running back position, you had a nice head start on your competition. For a more in-depth analysis on market share leaders for the rest of the season, head on over to rotoexperts.com and sign up for the Daily Fantasy Football Package. Our experts, Drew Dinkmeyer and Mike Leone, get you ready each week with strategy articles, site-specific cheat sheets, and recommendations that highlight the top value plays each week and send you updated injury information right to your inbox with our lineup alerts feature. Become a member of the Daily Fantasy Rundown team at rotoexperts.com by signing up for the Daily Fantasy Football Package. For Roto Experts and the Fantasy Sports Network, I'm Mike Cardano.